Hi, boys and girls. So far this week, we've started our new unit on data and graphs. We've learned about how graphs can help us make sense of information or data that's collected on a given situation. Now we're going to start talking about bar graphs. And in order to talk about bar graphs, we want to think about our knowledge of pictographs, but they're also unique in their own way as well. They're a little bit different because they don't use pictures. Here's the following situation. Mr. Price thinks that his name is longer than mine. I think my name's longer than his. So we can use a bar graph to show this information, like the example that follows. Watch and see. So I'm going to use cubes to represent Mr. Price's first name, Stephen. S-T-E-V-E-N. My first name, Aaron, is E-R-I-N. Well, look at that. It takes 6 cubes to represent all 6 letters of Mr. Price's name. It takes 4 cubes to represent the letters in my first name. I'm going to put these blocks together. When I line them up, you can tell that it takes more blocks to write out Mr. Price's name and less to write out mine. There are 6 blocks for Mr. Price's name and 4 for mine. Well, I guess he was right. Since 6 is more than 4, his name is longer than mine. Let's take a look at Colby's name just for fun. Colby spells her name C-O-L-B-I-E. When I put the blocks together, what do you notice? That's right. It takes the same amount of letters to spell Colby's name as it does to spell Mr. Price's first name. Here I've written out the letters so you can see more clearly. I can tell that there are 6 blocks for Mr. Price's name, 4 blocks for my name, and 6 for Colby's. Do you see how these cubes are now in a bar? Instead of using pictures, I used cubes to represent the data, and this is what we call a bar graph. I can also turn my bar graph this direction, where the bars are going straight up and down. I'm still comparing the number of letters in each of our names. With my bars facing vertically or up and down, I can show more clearly the scale. Bar graphs use a scale to show how much each bar is. Sometimes it starts at 0 and counts by 1s. Sometimes it counts by 2s or even 5s or 10s. We call that the scale. I already know that Mr. Price's name has 6 letters. My name has 4 letters, and Colby's name has 6. The numbers on the side and the scale that they're jumping tells me how much each bar is. So I guess Mr. Price was right. Don't tell him that or it'll go to his head. He has 6 letters in his name. I have 4 letters in my name. He also has the same number of letters as Colby. Colby also has 6 letters. I have the fewest amount of letters in my name, and I think that's just fine. Now it's your turn to try. I want you to use your name and some of your family members' names to create bar graphs with the letters that are in each of your names. I want you to use at least 3 names, including yourself. So I used myself, Mr. Price, and Colby. I want you to use at least 3 names. After you've created your bar graph, either side to side horizontal or up and down vertically, like both my examples, I want you to write 2 statements about the information in your bar graph, just as I did before, and I'll show you an example now as well. So I'll see you tomorrow with your bar graph and at least 2 statements about your information. I can't wait to get started on bar graphs with you guys, and I'll see you soon. Just a couple keywords from today's video. A bar graph is a type of graph that uses rectangular bars to show and compare information, just like I used with the cubes. And the scale is the amount of space between numbers represented in the graph. Remember, it can start at 0 and count up by 1s, or it could count by 2s, 5s, and even 10s. We'll keep exploring that in class.